Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michael Leonetti's Variety Show. What a show I have today. Spectacular. On my guest. I'm going to surprise you, but I want to go through a couple things with you wonderful people first, and I'm told to say this all the time. Please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. You know, we love you. It's very important. But as much as I love you, I buy my audience, and it costs me a fortune of money to reach you. But I got something very special to say today because my sponsor, Mr. Bob Kellogg, increased my budget. Some very serious money starting in January to increase the $20,000 that we sent out to double that figure. And that's exactly what makes me very, very excited, because the more people that watch the show, you know, the more people see. Because many times you go out there, people give you an email. Emails, nobody even looks at. But when you get a text, especially from anything, you're going to put your eyes down and you're going to read it and look at it. And thank you, everybody, for being so kind. So my sponsor, naturally, is Mr. Bob Kellogg. Bobby, I love you. He's coming on the week after next. I got Bob from Battle Creek, Michigan. It's going to be a split screen. So, Bob, you know, make sure you get your rest because we want to have some fun. I want to tell you about the Raisin Bran story when I was a kid and how we met. Also, WeLink. It was one of our other sponsors. If you're into fiber optics, it's one of the finest organizations. I wish to God they came to my neighborhood because I'm so sick and tired, you know, of my television. I'm always watching something, and it's got to catch up. So come on, WeLink. Get your stuff out there. Dig up them streets and put that fiber optic in. We also have George Harris. George Harris is with Alien Tequila. Now, I don't drink, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a dish of spaghetti and meatballs. That's my style. You know, but if you like tequila, it is the best, and you can get it at any of the liquor stores. Lee's has it. Beautiful bottle. Looks like an alien. It resembles my brother a little bit from a distance. You would really like it. Also, I want to say thank you to Susie Trumps. Susie Trumps now production. She wrote a movie called Through the Ropes, and which is so good about that, on my next segment, I got the champ, Eddie Sanchez, that's going to be on here. And I'm excited for that. But today, we have a very special young lady. Because let me tell you something, you need to vote. I'm a Trump fan. I always loved that. I always loved the guy. He was good to me in Atlantic City when I performed for him. I owned a restaurant in 2017, and I flourished and became a millionaire thanks to that guy and my hard work. And then when the Bidens came in, beep, bada-bop, bada-boop, I wound up selling the place. Things changed. So it's very, very important that we do that. Also, not to forget my book. As everybody knows, I wrote a book called Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up. You talk about some corrupt politicians, judges, and lawyers. I named them all. The book's $24.95, and all the money goes to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. When I had my restaurant, I sold over 18,000 books. Okay? That was such a blessing. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce a very special lady who I'm very excited to have her on my show, because I know you people are out there. I mean, we got a diversified, we got Republicans and Democrats, but when push comes to shove, I'm going to tell you something. We got to make a stand. You know me. Everybody knows my show. I don't carry no BS. This is some serious stuff. Okay, I don't sugarcoat nothing. This is the girl that you need to vote for. She will make a change. Because if I didn't feel that, I wouldn't have her on my show. Believe me. So without further ado, Victoria Seaman, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
my pleasure. We were talking earlier, you know, we talk about cereals. What's your favorite cereal?
Well, I like Pops. When I was a kid, I loved the Corn Pops.
You like the Corn Pops?
The Corn Pops.
Yeah, for me it was Frosted Flakes. I don't know why, till this very day it's Frosted Flakes, and which I love very, very much. Movie-wise, actor-wise, who do you like as an actor?
You know, I love Clive Owen, who's not as popular as most.
Okay.
I love Eric Bana.
All right.
Who are not, you know, they're more character actors. I loved Eric Bana in Munich.
He was very good in that.
He was very good.
He was very good in that.
Yes.
My favorite actor was, if I had to come back as anybody, it would have to be Cary Grant. He
was great.
I loved Cary Grant no matter what movie that guy played in.
What about Gregory Peck?
Gregory Peck was great. Gregory Peck was good. There was a lot of great ones. I mean,
one of my favorite movies, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, that was terrific.
Yeah.
What did I watch a couple nights? I watched an old-time movie with Seawolf. I think it was Edward G. Robinson was in that.
Oh, he
it
was a
back
good
in the 40s. Man, that was a
character,
great.
yeah.
That was a great.
Yeah.
I could see Victoria's Secret's Victoria Seaman's. I'm sorry. Her bodyguard. He's going like this. He's holding a gun or something. I'm getting a little nervous over here.
Oh, yes. I've heard that once or twice. You know, I'm going to tell, can I tell you a funny story
Tell
about
me a
Victoria's
story. I want to
Secret?
hear.
So there was an Assyrian who didn't speak good English, and he was supporting me because his wife used to do my nails.
Right.
And someone came to the door and to ask who you're voting for when I was running for, I believe it was Assembly. And he said, I can't think of it, Victoria's Secret. And they knew right away it was Victoria Seaman, but he couldn't remember my name. So I guess it works, right?
Well, I apologize. I'm looking at your bodyguard. He's still got his hand like this. I think no, I'm only teasing you. What's his name?
Dave.
Dave, thanks for coming, Dave. He's off camera, ladies and gentlemen. He's a very little guy. He's about 4'5", and that's just his neck. That's the size. God bless this guy. You know, I tell you something. We're watching. I'm watching every night. I'm glued to Hannity, and I'm glued to Jesse's World. My wife and I are watching that stuff all the time, and I'm looking at Kamala Harris. Let me tell you something. As a businessman, I got to look at it as a businessman. I made a fortune of money. If I would open it today, I'd close my store in 6 weeks.
You wouldn't open.
I wouldn't even open. I couldn't do it. And I invested $1 million. My wife and I invested $1 million in a little mom and pop Italian restaurant.
Which was great. All of my friends used to go
There'll never be another My Mother's House.
Yes.
But look, I got to say something because this is your time. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted you to come on the TV today. I want you to look in that camera. Tell them the reason why they need to vote for you.
Well, the reason I got involved with politics is because I was a businesswoman of over 23 years. And I decided that I was going to start helping those who signed the front of a paycheck. And I sold my business. I moved here in 2005. I brought another business here. And I decided in 2009 to sell my business and get involved in politics to help those who had signed the front of a paycheck. Well, I always say God's great sense of humor. I got recruited, ran for office, and I got involved because that was my segue into politics. Then I found there were so many other issues. But what I think is important about somebody like me who's ran a business, when I look to do solutions, I look to not stifle businesses, but rather help them. Because first of all, why would we stifle them when they are the revenue for us to do needed services? I never understood why government stood in the way of businesses. So I am a big, strong supporter of small business.
That's wonderful because, I got to tell you, V, I related with Trump because I know what it is to be persecuted.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And thank God that I was opulent enough, where I can come out and make a comeback and lose a kingdom and get it all back. Because I'm going to tell you, especially with Kellogg's, who I love with all my heart and soul. He's like my brother. I said, Bobby, I'd love you to sponsor me, but you know how I am. I'm going to tell it like it is. If you're going to tie my hands, then that's okay. I'll do whatever I have to do. No, Mike, we're Kellogg's Corporation, which you can't get any bigger than Kellogg's.
That's right.
Is behind you. So when you get a program like this and you bring people like you on it, because there's 1 million podcasts, but nobody watches, and they get 100 people, 150 people. That's why I buy that customer, and these were my customers. Because people say, Mike, you can open another place? No. Love to perform again, but if I could find a place that was equally as to what I did, I will go back on that stage as I walk out the studio. But right now, it's sad. So right now we're all praying through the grace of God that Trump gets in, and especially when you see you're not a part of the swamp.
No, I'm not.
Right, like me. I'm not a part of swamp. I can say what I want, do what I want, and buy what I want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So nobody can tell me what to do, or other people say, okay, you got sponsors. Well, you ain't going to say this. You're not going to. Listen, I have a lot of gentility when it comes to what I've done in Vegas for 50 years. And when I see somebody like you, it excites me. That's why I wanted you on the program for my customers to say, something, Who's Victoria Seaman? Because you know Donald Trump. Because it takes thousands and thousands and thousands. Then you drive down the street, there's a million pictures of a million different people. Running for this, who's running for that.
Yes, exactly.
People don't know what the hell. They
Right.
don't realize unless you got big bucks behind you.
Right.
And but this is why it's so important, especially now. So if I can get at least 30% of the 20,000 that are watching me today, I mean tomorrow, because we shoot this today and it gets distributed tomorrow, I feel as though I'm glad that I brought you on.
Thank you.
Because you're saying, geez, and that's why I asked you, who do you like? Because these are regular people. These are regular. You have children?
Yes, I have a daughter.
How old is she?
31.
God bless you. Oh my God, you look 31. I was
Thank
wondering
you.
now. That's incredible.
I was 5.
You were 5 years old when it happened, and that's what people want. They want that connection. They want to feel something. In my restaurant, when people would come in, I said, if you don't like the food, I'll give you your money back. There's nobody in Las Vegas that's doing anything like. You know what they say? Oh, we're sorry you didn't like it. Could we get you something else?
Yes.
You got one shot. And when it comes to politics, you got one shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. And Mayor, they had, what's his name? The guy that's just...
Oscar.
Oscar Goodman. Nice fella. Know of him. Don't know him personally. He's on third base. Anybody over 65 years old is on third base like me. I'm 72. So we're all on third base. I'm trying to say, this is our last run. When push comes to shove, because in 30 years from now, no one's not going to know who the hell I am unless you pull me up on, YouTube or something like that. And it's time for a change for a younger girl like you that has, for my Jewish people that are looking for, that has the chutzpah. Okay? That's a mensch. Do you know what a mensch is? For you Jewish people that watch me all the time, mensch is a person with a heart, a good person. Chutzpah is what I got. That's what she's got. I mean, you can see it. So when you got somebody's going to run for mayor, that's the person you want. And I guarantee you, if you needed to see her, she'll take the time. She took the time to come to see me. Never met her before. Didn't know who she was. Okay? Read about her. Inquired a little bit about her. But she took the time to get in her car on her busy day a couple weeks before voting to come here to talk to my people. And I love you for that, and I respect you for that.
Thank you.
And
My
I
pleasure.
really hope to God that you win. I really.
Well,
me and my wife, we voted for you. My brother voted for you. Not sure how to give him a raise. No, I'm only teasing. I'm only teasing with you. Is there any thing less that you want to say? Any other?
I've been in the council now for 5 years. I have the institutional knowledge and ready to go on day one. I'm not a good politician, but I'm a great public servant. And I love my job, and I love serving the people. I've been endorsed by every law enforcement agency in the state of Nevada, every single one, because I've worked shoulder to shoulder with them to make sure that we are the safest city in the union. That is my goal as mayor, is to make sure that we become one of the safest cities. We're not yet, but I want to make sure that we do. And so there's a clear and concise difference between me and my opponent.
Well, Ms. Seaman, with the bottom of my heart, there's no words to express my sincere appreciation for being perspicacious, for being wonderful. If I could ever be of service to you in the future for anything at any time, just pick up the phone, give me a jingle. I promise you, I will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Seaman, don't forget to vote for her. Let me say it one more time. Do not forget to vote for the future mayor of not only Las Vegas, but of what this town should be. She'll make the change. I promise you. We'll be right back. We're going to do a commercial break. Hey, lady, don't you move. Don't you dare touch that dial. We're coming right back.
Today, we can't live without the internet. It connects us to everything and everyone. But when it comes to internet service, consumers are faced with a limited number of options and no real choice. The same handful of companies lure you in with gimmicky pricing, only to raise your rate months later. Your bills are inconsistent, include hidden fees, and your service isn't great either. In the end, you're stuck paying way too much for way too little. So why can't we do better? What if there was a provider with affordable and transparent pricing, reliable service, and lightning-fast speeds? Now there is. Introducing WeLink, a new and revolutionary home internet. At WeLink, our mission is simple: to provide low-cost, high-quality internet that improves our customers' lives. WeLink uses new wireless technology, capable of bringing gigabit speed internet to homes without all the complexity and costs of traditional fiber. With WeLink's wireless technology, you'll be able to enjoy the internet at gigabit speeds. This is fast enough for streaming and gaming across dozens of devices, all at the same time. For helping us bring service to your neighborhood, you'll receive an exclusive discounted offer and a monthly rate that gets better with time. By switching to WeLink, you could save up to $840 per year. The internet is far too important to be controlled by a handful of companies who provide subpar service for far too high a price. WeLink, a new internet built by you and for you. Call.
We're back, everybody. Oh, that was so nice. And don't forget, make sure you get out there and make sure you vote, vote, vote. Well, I got two special guests. And I'm so honored to have these two guys. Funny guy, Spank Key. He is hilarious. And to the right of me, I got to tell you, because everybody knew I used to be a professional fighter years ago when I was in my prime. Now I'm just an old man that makes pizza and meatballs. Just teasing you. Ladies and gentlemen, the magnificent, the fantastic Mr. Eddie Sanchez. Eddie, thanks so much for coming, buddy.
Thank you for having me here, man.
Oh, man, are you kidding me? I got to tell you something. I watched some of your fights. We got a little clip we're going to show in a bit. Let me ask you a question. What made you get into the fight business?
You know what? To be honest, I started when I was small, but I didn't think I was going to do it this far. I was just trying to do it to get away where I was coming from, when I was growing up. But also I just said, you know what? I just want to learn how to fight. But the more I got into it, the better I got, and I got. And next thing I know, I'm fighting world-class fighters and up-and-coming contenders, and thinking, man, I didn't think I was going to make it this far. But then I said, oh, let's go for it. And we kept going from there.
And you just kept going and going and going.
Kept going, even though my biggest challenge was my mom.
Your mom, she was a fighter too?
No, because every time she found out I was at the gym, she would literally go up there, get me out of the gym with a broomstick, and beat the crap out of me.
No
said, you want to get hit? Let's go home.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I was playing at a place up on the Strip, and I met Eddie. Eddie was sitting down when I talked to him. and there was a couple other people that came to see my show.
Right.
And he says, I'm Eddie Sanchez. The minute I mentioned him, he mentions him. I knew who the kid was. And I said, I got to have you on my television show. And this got to be about 4 months?
4 months now.
3-4 months. And I said, Eddie, I didn't forget you, pal. He said, Mike, I hurt my back. I got a headache, my foot. I got a bunion on my toe. This guy came up with more excuses. But he said to me, I promise you, Mike, I'll have you on. One of the things, you got a hell of a record. Was it 55?
52 fights, 52 wins, 47 knockouts.
Say that again.
52 fights, 52 wins, 47 knockouts.
That's some serious. Now you got to remember, when I met Mr. Sanchez, he was sitting down. He never stood up. Now I'm 6'4" if I stand on the table. So, I shook his hand and I met him today. He came to the studio. When he walked in, I looked up. I said, this son of a bitch, look at the size of this guy.
I think I come up to-
I said, he's what do you want, 6'3"?
Yeah, you could say rounding it off, 6'3".
About 6, I didn't realize how tall. I looked up to, I said, holy smoly. I said, they didn't give this guy no problems. I had to take out a 38.
I think I come up to Eddie's waist.
Man.
What was the toughest fight you had? I mean, what was something that's very memorable to you? Say, Mike, I got in the ring with this guy, didn't realize what I was up against.
You know what? There's a couple of them that I actually think of. One of them, actually, my first pro debut. I was, before, a lot of people don't know this, before I got into boxing, I was doing kickboxing. I did it professionally for 1 year. And I remember one time they brought a guy from Japan. His record was, they were trying to set me up. They were trying to use me as a stepping stone for him. But he didn't know that I had the boxing background. So when the guy came in from Japan on my first pro debut, I had like 27 something wins, only one loss, and 17 KOs on kickboxing. Shit, this is my first kickboxing fight. What am I gonna do with this guy? And I remember the first 30 seconds of the fight, my trainer goes, just move around. I know, just don't kick if you have to. That's what he told me. Remember the first time he did a check kick? Boom. The first he did a check kick, the first thing went to mind, holy shit, I gotta get him out of here. Because that kick, even though it felt like chest tapped it went all the way to my back. I felt that shock. And I remember I set him up in the rope, boom, I cracked him with the body shot. That was in a minute and 30 seconds. That minute, I seen him drop, and I'm thinking, hey, please don't get up. Please don't get up. As soon as I seen him drop, he's not getting up.
He didn't get up.
I cracked his rib on the first body shot I gave him.
Wow, that's it. Everybody knows I had my restaurant called My Mother's House Italian Supper Club, which if my wife wasn't feeling well and she was in great health, I would have still been there. I was so happy at that place. But everybody has a season. And Chuck Liddell and Frank Mir came in. He's another big guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're big.
I'm unbelievable. And Frank came and they ate. And I could not believe what Chuck Liddell ate.
What do you eat?
What didn't he eat? And the guy, this guy, and I came out with lasagna, eggplant parmesan. I came out with, and this guy ate like a killer whale. Then he bit a wall. He bit my wall on the way out.
Oh, man.
He took a chunk out of the wall. And these guys were like, it was great. It was great. And Chuck Liddell was just great. But I got to tell you, it's great. I want to slide over a little bit to Spank. I don't know if you know. And let me tell you what I love about you, Spank. I know you got your own radio show, right?
Yes, sir. 107.1 FM, AM 1400.
Say that again. I was too fast.
107.1 FM and AM 1400 in the mornings.
That's wonderful.
Got the #1 morning drive radio show.
Woo, you sound like me. Got the #1 drive radio show. That's what we're talking about. He's a comedian, ladies and gentlemen, and I got to tell you something. What I love about this young man, there's no vulgarity. I don't tolerate that. I don't just like this show here. There's a million podcasts that are out there. I don't need to use a 4-letter word to get viewers.
Right.
It's just a clean show. And like I said, when you got major sponsors like WeLink and Kellogg's and Susie Trump's Productions and you stumped me, Aunt. Alien Tequila, George. These are powerful people. You know what? To lose your sponsors.
Right.
To say, hey, what the hell's this guy saying on television? But I got to tell you though, Spank. I seen a little piece of you. You're a funny guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you're an E7, right? You're retired. You were in service.
Marine Corps.
Wow. Well, for me, it was the Cub Scouts. I still know it. I promised to do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and I obey the law of the pack. That was over was 62 years. I'm 72, so that was
Wow, you still
62
remember
years
that.
ago. Never forgot that pledge. And Mrs.
Yeah.
Falzone was my den mother. She made the best garlic bread I've ever tasted in my life. It was the best, the best.
Yeah.
So what made you get into comedy?
Well, I was working at Ticketmaster call center first, and then a friend of mine named Leela, she took me down. She said, "Let's go down to the comedy club." At that time, I was like, "What's a comedy club?" I didn't even know what a comedy club was. So she took me down there, and we actually saw Bernie Mac, the legendary Bernie Mac.
Oh, he was funny.
Yeah, and he's the first
He was
person.
funny. Bernie Mac is funny. Funny guy.
He's the first person to give me a shot. And so he put me on stage. He gave me 5 minutes. I did about 3 minutes, ran out of stuff to say.
Wow.
I kept coming back, improving the stuff, and then I've done Def Jam. Even though I was on Def Jam, they cuss a lot, but I still did a clean show. BET Comic View of tour with so many people.
I come from an era because I was very blessed to come to had a hit record in 1972 and came to Vegas and cooked for Sinatra and every major celebrity at that time.
record? Yeah.
Oh yeah. You weren't even born then. What the freak are you talking about? It was 72. That was 1972. I had a hit record. So Rickles never was foul.
Yeah.
Red Fox was.
Oh my God.
But Rickles was never foul. And I'm a
I
firm-
love Don Rickles.
Well, you're looking at a different type of a guy. And, how about John Panette? Remember, God rest his soul. John Panette was hilarious.
Yeah.
When he did the Chinese guy, he was, and his dialects were absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I want you to have a great career because you're a young man. Listen,
Yes,
son,
sir.
you got your whole life ahead of you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
when you're
that.
my age, I say we're all on anybody over the age of 65, we're all sitting on third base. You understand? We're on third base. We're on our way home. So whatever God gives us left, the time that we have, if I get another 10 years, another 15, as long as you got your health, that's the most important thing, because just like that, something can happen. My very dear friend, Sal Santiago, I love you, Sal.
Yeah.
They just put a pacemaker in his heart yesterday.
Yeah. Wow.
And they put a stent in him. And we go out every day for lunch, and just like that, he's in the hospital. But ladies and gentlemen, he's getting better. Let me slide over a little bit to the great Sanchez.
Oh, man.
Sanchez.
The great man.
You're making me blush.
No, I got
knockout
right. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of guys that are tough out there. But when you get a guy like this, and you got to see him in the studio, all the lights went out. I thought Rick Manning shut the lights. That's how big this guy is. He was actually... Rick Manning, give me a little clip of the champ of champs.
The next man I'm about to invite into the ring is a former two-time GBU World Champion, former ESU Champion, former WBA Intercontinental World Champion, and ESPN Classic inductee with a record of 52 wins, 6 losses, and 47 KOs. The one, the only, the man, the legend, Eddie Sanchez. All right, guys, you're fighting October 5th in Qatar. Let's get a stare down right here. Thunderbolt, this is first, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, first one to be announced this fight. Put your hands together for Shannon the Cannon Rich and Eddie Sanchez. That fight will be on pay-per-view, so make sure you follow and be.
Unbelievable. So what's next up and coming for you, Ed?
We're in the process of actually negotiating another fight. They want to bring me out of my retirement, which I was enjoying it very much, but this I couldn't pass out. So we're still in the process right now. We're talking about doing a 2 legends fighting each other, Sugar Shane Mosley and myself.
Wow.
That's a good one.
So we're still in the negotiation process on that one. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, like Coach Shane the other day, I go, Shane, you want to do this? He goes, yeah, I'm not going to hurt you, man. I know, you're a little. He goes, Eddie, I'm going to go share. You know how we get. Okay, Shane, I'm just saying, but no. But yeah, so we're still negotiating that. Hopefully we'll make it sometime in January or February, the latest.
Well, that's great. Well, we're all voting for you also as well to win.
Yeah.
Your next thing beside your number one talk radio show?
I'll be at Oyo, OYO, Hotel and Casino, November 2nd. It's John Hilder has a hilarious 70 shows to 7 funniest comedians in Las Vegas, and I'm happy to be one of the 7. November 2nd.
Well, that's
Oyo.
good. Let me know. We'll come down to see you.
Yes, sir.
I always like to support. Once again, there's no words to thank you guys. But before I close the segment, Ed, if it's is it Cocoa Krispies, Fruit Loops?
You know what, man? I'll take all these 3 right here.
Is that your favorite?
Forget this one. All these 3 right here.
What's that?
Yeah.
I like these 3 right here. These are my favorite
So
ones.
Fruit Loops, Pops, and Frosted
Correct.
Flakes. How about you?
I'll take the Frosted Flakes.
The
all
Frosted
day.
Flakes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a wonderful. Next week we got. I'm flying back to Philadelphia next week, and I got 2 people that I met. They're in their late 80s. It's going to be an Italian section. It's all about my culture, Italian food, and I knew that there had to be people still alive. I knocked on every door, and sure enough, I got a husband and wife. They're married 70 years.
Wow.
I'm flying. I'm picking them up. I'm flying them into Las Vegas. They're going to be on the show, and we're going to talk about all the really Italian food. And then the week after that, I got the great Mr. Bob Kellogg. We're going to do a Zoom from Battle Creek, Michigan. So I say this all the time, Eddie. Thanks so much for being so kind.
Thanks for having me here.
I appreciate
Spank,
you,
you're
sir.
the master of disaster, the king of Sting, the count of Monte
Mr. Joe
Cristo.
Breaker, the candy
The king
taker.
of clean.
The king of clean.
There you go.
So if I had a ladder's lamp and I had one wish to make, I would not wish for caviar or any special dish. I would not wish for dollars. Yet in dollars I have few. I wish to come to this studio for whatever time God gives me left to come for people like this so I can bring them to people like you. And I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the power at the age of 72 to have a knockout punch in each hand. I still got the power. The voice is still there. And who knows? I leave it up to you. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next week. Hey, lady, now you can change the channel if you want.
Are you looking to increase your business? Are you looking to take your business or organization to the next level? Well, look no further. The Michael Leonetti Variety Show has everything you need to become a great success. Contact us now to get all the information you need to take your business to the next level.